The reason this is important is because the Southern Baptist Convention is the largest Protestant denomination in the United States of America. And they have been incredibly politically active now for all of my life, all of my 53 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, not so much, but with the moral majority movement and all of that. So I want to do just a little bit of a deep dive. I hope everybody will bear with me because I'm going to ramble on like a manic street preacher here for a minute. But this is important stuff because Mike Johnson's a Southern Baptist and he's the Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
There are lots of Baptists, Southern Baptists, in political life around the country. He's probably the most prominent.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Christian nationalist. I am grateful to Professor Allison Collis Green for an article that she wrote that I found on an academic journal today. Some of the stuff I knew, some of it was new information for me. But the reason that there is a Southern Baptist Convention at all is because in 1844, at the Triennial Convention, they wanted the Southern enslaving class, who were Baptists, were fighting with the abolitionists from the North, and they tried to nominate an enslaver to a position on the home mission board or a home mission field to send a slave-owning white supremacist out to spread the gospel.
Probably in Africa or something.
And so the Northerners, they weren't cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Southern Baptists decided that they would then split. Now, here's some of the kinds of things that you would hear from Southern Baptist people, or that they would do. So they founded their flagship seminary, Southern Seminary in Kentucky, and they had a gentleman by the name of James P. Boyce, who was the first president of that seminary. He enslaved 23 people who were descended from Africa. Southern Seminary also, I guess they had some financial hard times after the Civil War. And Joseph E. Brown donated money to the seminary to save them from fiscal ruin. And he made all of his money from the brutal convict leasing system in Georgia. Now, for those who are uninitiated, after the Civil War, when rich white people wanted some more free labor, they started creating these random laws, vagrancy laws. And just like today, where you can be standing outside of an elementary school or minding your own damn business and ICE shows up, sheriffs or other law enforcement people would just start rounding black people up off the streets.
Yep.
For violations of these vagrancy laws, put them in prison, and then the prisons would then lease them to industrialists like the ones who built the railroads in the South. And so they got essentially enslaved labor because the 13th Amendment says that you can be enslaved if you're in prison.
Yes.
So,
yeah. And I used to be a Southern Baptist, and you know what? No one ever told me that story. You know, that was never.
No, me neither.
Yeah. No one ever said that to me. No one said, oh, do you know why we're called Southern Baptists?
I got married in a Southern Baptist church. I got baptized in a Southern Baptist church. And when I asked my wife, who went to a Southern Baptist seminary in Texas, why it was called the Southern Baptist, did that have anything to do with slavery and the Civil War? She said no. So I spent the vast majority of my almost 20 years as a Southern Baptist not knowing any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Boyce at Southern worked to eradicate anti-slavery Northern influence theologically. This is why I call Southern Baptist slaveholder religion.
Yes.
I'm not the only one that does. It's because they seek to dominate based on hierarchies. And so he instituted a rigid theological, biblical literalism focused on original sin and the absolutely theologically absurd notion that Jesus had to step between me and a wrathful, vengeful God and save my soul from hell. That is patently absurd. Penal substitution is not the gospel.
That's right.
Southern Baptists vindicated their separation from Northern Baptists on the premise that slaveholding was morally legitimate.